Pat Morita appeared as some of the most popular characters in movie and television history, from Arnold on Happy Days to Achu in Sanford and Son to the legendary Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. Born June 28, 1932 in California, his parents were Japanese immigrants who came to California in 1913, his mother, and 1915, his father, and they met here. Pat had a brother who was 12 years older named Harry. Pat's birth name was Noriyuki. Morita developed a spinal tuberculosis, also known as pot disease, at 2 years of age and spent nearly 9 years in the Wiener Institute. Later, he went to Shriners Hospital in San Francisco. For long amounts of time, he would be wrapped in full body cast. It was even told he wouldn't walk again. When he was in Sacramento, a priest became friends with Morita. The priest would joke, if you convert to Catholicism, the priest would name him Patrick Aloysius Ignatius Xavier Noriyuki Morita. After undergoing extensive spinal surgery and being taught how to walk, he was transported to the Gila River Camp in Arizona. Morita was there for over a year. After World War II ended, Morita returned to the Bay Area and graduated from Marijo High School in 1949. He and his family operated an Oroki Chop Shop, a restaurant in Sacramento. Years later, Morita would joke, a Japanese family running a Chinese restaurant in a black neighborhood with a clientele of black Filipinos and anyone else who didn't fit in our neighborhoods. Morita would entertain the diners and serve as master of ceremonies for big group dinners. In 1956, Morita's dad was killed tragically in a hit and run when returning home from an all-night movie. Morita and his mother kept the restaurant going for a few more years, but with Morita getting married and having his first child, he needed a regular job to support them. Pat got a job as a data processor in the early part of the 1960s at the DMV. From there, he was able to get a graveyard shift at Aerojet General. He helped with the lunar eclipse for Polaris and Titan missile project. Morita was soon burned out with the job and quit. He wanted to try his shot at show business. He started working small comedy clubs doing stand-up comedy. He was doing clubs in Sacramento and San Francisco. What was his stage name? Taken from fellow comedians Pat Henry and Pat Cooper, and most importantly, the priest from all those years before who became a great friend to him at that time. Pat Morita. Pat didn't find instant success. In fact, he struggled for many years. Thanks to a fellow entertainer who was also a ventriloquist, Hank Garcia, he told Pat to try his luck in Los Angeles. He moved out there, and Lenny Bruce's mother acted as his agent. He was soon booked in the San Fernando Valley and Santa Monica. Pat was the opening act for such stars as Vic Damone, Connie Stevens, and his mentor Red Fox. His first work in movies and TV were as a henchman in Thoroughly Modern Millie and The Shakiest Gun in the West starring Don Knotts. He then went on to appear in an episode of Laugh-In. Followed in 1974, he appeared with his good friend Red Fox in Sanford and Son as the friend of Lamont Achu. Pat would debut in Season 4 and appear in 7 episodes total, the final being Season 5, Sergeant Gork. Achu's character was fantastic for Pat's career. It gave him great exposure and led to other things in his life. In 73 and 74, he had a recurring role as Captain Sam Pack on the sitcom MASH, another popular show that gave Morita a chance to become a household name and face. In the mid-1970s, Morita appeared as another recurring character on a highly popular show, Happy Days. He was Matsu Takayashi, or Arnold, and he was the new owner of Arnold's Drive-In. He stuck with the name Arnold because that was easier and cheaper than changing the restaurant's neon sign to Takayashi. He appeared in 26 total episodes in the 4 seasons he was on that show. When the Karate Kid movie was auditioning for parts, Pat tried out for Mr. Miyagi. But he was passed on because his close association with comedy. Plus the original choice for the role, it was Toshiro Mifune, who was in the classic movie Rashomon, Seven Samurai, and The Hidden Fortress. Just one issue though, Toshiro couldn't speak English. Producer Jerry Winthrop was the one who didn't want Pat Morita. He saw him as a comic actor. Morita went on to test 5 more times when Jerry finally offered the part to Pat himself. What did it? Pat grew a beard and changed his accent to sound more like his uncle. Winthrop wanted Pat to use his actual first name so it sounded more ethnic for the movie. The Karate Kid was a giant success. It led to a Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations for Morita as Best Supporting Actor. Morita went on to film The Karate Kid 2 and 3 in 1986 and 1989. In 1994, he starred in his last time in the series with Hilary Swank as the next Karate Kid. Morita continued to work in show and movies, sometimes making cameos as Mr. Miyagi, including in a music video and a toothpaste commercial. He went on to do some voice work as the Emperor of China in both Mulan movies and the Kingdom Hearts video game. On November 24, 2005, while at his home in Las Vegas, Pat Morita passed away at the age of 73. He had battled alcoholism and died of kidney failure. Pat Morita's legacy is one built on defying the odds, being told he might never walk, to helping run a family restaurant, working on several missile projects, failing at comedy but continuing on till he found massive success, finally becoming the most memorable karate teacher in cinema history. Pat Morita showed a never-give-up attitude to help him succeed in the greatest challenge, life.